Good morning, everyone. And if you don't know, that smooth jazz opening means it is the Going On Daily Live morning show. Welcome, everybody, to today's Saturday edition. We have the Saturday Dream Team in the house of Lena Williams and myself. But today, we have been gifted the addition of JP Marsh. Here for JP.
Welcome to JP.
Thank you.
JP, since we're pretty much just meeting you right now, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I am a 42-year-old single father, well, girl dad, and I live in super rural Montana. And currently traveling, I'm in Indiana, and blue collar trades guy.
Nice.
For a day job, all that stuff. So
I like that. I am myself a single father, girl dad. My daughter is now 23, though, so she's out of the nest. But, we stick together, right? And Lena supports us.
I do. I love girl dads. I really do. For a lot
of
reasons.
Mine's only 10, so I got some years before she.
You got the hard years coming up.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they'll be that bad.
Listen,
but
speaking as a girl, we can be insufferable. We can.
Yes.
We can be. It's a hormone thing. We're all over the place. So,
Well, how come you will admit it?
Oh, because I'm my age. I don't think when you're like young and you're a teenager. I honestly don't think you really understand what the heck's going on. I don't think you know. Like, it takes you a long time to realize that you even had all of that going on. You're just reacting at that age, I think. So one day you're miserable, one day you're in good mood. A lot of dramatics, a lot of door slamming, a lot of all that kind of stuff. A lot of I can't believe that you won't let me do this and that, and just a lot of that stuff. But I think it's you're just in it at that time, so you don't really know what to do except just respond to it as a kid. So
I taught my daughter one phrase that hopefully, JP, you can teach your daughter also. Because I used to hate when I would see, and it's usually teenage girls, who would sit there and if they disagree, you won't let them do something. I hate you. And I never wanted to hear that. So I taught my daughter very early on when she did something. I said, I always love you, but I don't like you right now. So when she got mad at me, that's when I would get back at me. So I never got the I hate you, because that would have destroyed me.
Well, I mean, would it have though? You would have known it was just
I know, but I didn't want to hear it.
I set myself up with her at a young age to be able to, there were certain things in my childhood that I had to overcome and learn to be different as an adult, and so I've put tools in my toolbox to help her, as far as communication and being able to talk and stuff like that. But she lost the willpower battle when she was really young and hasn't really tried to start it back up. And so I'm not sure how,
I
what.
tell you, it's probably coming. Yeah, you're probably ready for another brash of
testing. Once she hits adolescence and tries to be an independent and thinks she's a grown up at 14 and all that stuff. But I got a couple years left, so I'm preparing myself still.
But as Ron put up, raising girls is like New England weather. It's going to get bad, but it'll pass.
Right.
Okay, so join us on this journey. I'm going to tell you how. Okay, let's see if I can get all of them. There's a lot of them. Right.
Okay.
Take a deep breath.
I believe in you.
Thank you. Okay, if you want to watch us live, you can watch us on YouTube, Rumble, or Kick. And they're all at Rhode Island Broadcasting. Spell it out, just like it says. If you want to go to Twitch to watch us, it's at RI_broadcasting. Now, if you're not going to see our lovely faces and you just want to hear us, that's fine. On audio, it's either Spotify, Red Circle, TuneIn, or iHeartRadio, and those are all at RI Broadcasting. Now, of course, we have social media because you can't survive without that. Follow us on TikTok, MeWe, Blue Sky, Parler, or LinkedIn at RIBroadcasting, Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, at Broadcasting RI. And then, of course, Facebook. We have our Facebook page, but that's just for this show. So that's at Going On Daily Morning Show. And there's a website which can tell you all of this. So just really remember this one, RhodeIslandBroadcasting.net. That will lead you everywhere you want to go. And always, our favorite, go to Patreon at RI Broadcasting because it allows you to buy merch, which is going to help us out. You get the little logo right there if you're watching, Going On Daily. You get it on mugs and pens and magnets. And, you know, that's how you support the show. Hold on.
And you know what? That was, can we get like that? That's recorded. So can we just get a clip of that and we just rerun it so that Ira doesn't have to do it again?
Put it up on the website so that people can just go, okay, I can replay it. I can go back. I can go forward.
Right. Yep.
Now, usually, and Ron's going to hate this, but usually we go off the rails pretty early on the show.
We do.
And I just happened to see one topic, and I thought, well, there's a few people here today. Before we even start the show officially, I have one question for you. Okay. If you're going on a 12-hour road trip, but you can only listen to one musical artist. Now, if you were to choose, say, Paul McCartney, you can listen to the Beatles, Wings, his solo work, and all the duets. So anything that artist has sung in is fine. Who are you choosing? Lena, I know your musical knowledge is unrivaled, is what I'm thinking. Who are you choosing?
I have a toss-up. Like, there's two artists that I would play on a long road trip, and they have a ridiculous amount of songs.
But for 12 hours straight.
Yes. I mean,
okay.
I don't care. You just shuffle whatever the 12 or 13 albums or whatever the heck it is for.
Who are you picking?
I would I'd have to go with either Steely Dan.
Really? Okay.
Or Dave Matthews. That's how I drive.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. I don't care.
Broke my heart on that last one.
I don't care.
That's fine.
You know.
JP, who are you choosing?
I would go with either Tom Morello.
There's a lot there.
Yeah, I mean, you got Rage Against the Machine, Audio Slave. He did stuff with Bruce Springsteen. He did stuff with Heart. He's done his Atlas Underground, where he's got, Young the Giant, or not Young the Giant, but
I like that.
The guy from Mumford, Marcus Mumford's on it. Gary Clark Jr.'s on it. I mean, there's just, and so you have a whole barrage of stuff. Either that or Dave Grohl, because Dave Grohl's another one that's played with a plethora of different people, 50 plus different bands and artists and all these different things. So you just have a huge, you're not going to hear the same song twice, hopefully, if you go with something like that.
I never really thought
That's
about
exactly
it that
why. This was actually a list. Oh, okay. Ron is saying Huey Lewis in the news.
Yeah.
Ron always says Huey Lewis in the news.
Yeah, you know what?
If I was going to go down the road that JP did, I'd probably go Quincy Jones if I was going to do that.
Oh,
yeah. There you go. He's got his hand in everything. So
I asked the same thing about
that kind of thing.
I asked the same thing about songwriters because I wanted to know if Prince was eligible because he's written for everybody. But I went with Billy Joel for mine, and I know that's kind of generic, but the highs and the lows, I can get quick songs, I can get heartfelt songs. I can't listen to anyone else for 12 hours straight. Well, then there you go. So let us know who you would pick. By the way, this was put out on Reddit. They took age, background, it didn't matter. And the number one artist chosen was David Bowie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we don't have any arguments with that, I don't think.
No arguments.
No, you get the whole Labyrinth soundtrack, probably.
Oh, I like that too.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that. Now it's Saturday, August 16th. Here's what we want you to know. Lena, you're starting us off.
Okay, so let me start by saying I am live on my Facebook right now. So everybody who knows me, this story is not typical of me. So before you go, what is she doing? I just wanted to I decided today I would just be. We've had a crazy few months, and a bunch of weird stuff going on, and so I thought it would be just like nice to do a really fluffy thing because I normally, me and Becky, we dive into the depths of true crime and all that crazy stuff, and so I thought this was cute. I'm like, well, was this on my bingo card for 2025, right? That there are some celebrities, right, that have lost partners. Some of them have, been in I don't know how many movies and had huge careers and things like that. And the two that are kind of coming up this year are Meryl Streep and Martin Short.
Yes.
Those two are just kind of coming up in the news. I know she was on Only Murders in the Building, and they've been friends for years. But I guess within the last year, it's kind of shifted into a romantic thing, right? So, and I kind of like this. I guess if you're the type that, I guess that if you're the type that is into celebrity stuff, like I'm not actually a crazy celebrity fan, but I do love Meryl Streep. I just love her for a lot of reasons. And her daughter now, who is in the Gilded Age, which is really cool. But anyway,
yes.
But they're kind of like, listen, we've known each other forever. We've been friends forever. Look at Ron. Where have you been, Ron? Ron, go look it up. Ron's like, what? Wait a minute. What?
It's been a thing for a while now. Yeah.
It's been sort of like in the past year, I guess, that it's been more than a friendship, right? Which, like I said, I don't follow all of this, but I saw a couple things and I'm like, well, let me go down the rabbit hole. And they're saying that they don't want the pressure of labeling the romance as a romance, which I totally get. Especially with them being who they are, that everybody's just going to get involved in it and make a big thing out of it. And even if you are in a romance that's like in your hometown or your local area, it is annoying to have like the whole town know your business. It's just, I get it. And I guess for them, it makes a lot of sense, especially that they both have these careers for years and years and years that they're trying to, maintain. But it's kind of nice, I mean, for her, she had like Meryl Streep had a husband years and years and years ago that died, and it ruined her for a really long time. It's back in the 70s, yeah. John Cazale. So, she did end up getting married again.
I thought she did, yeah.
Yeah, she did get married again. I think it's 2018. She was married for a good 40 years. 78, I think. She married someone else, and then she was with someone for 40 years, and then she's been kind of on her own. So, this is kind of cute. Like, why make anything out of it? Why not just have fun? And they both of them know a lot of the people in the business. They've been together, in a lot of circumstances, and they just kind of know. And it's cool to just kind of hang out with you. What a really good friend, right? So why not? And the other one that has been real big, which I love, and I have to start by saying, I'll just name Pamela Anderson and Liam Neeson, right? Because they've been in the news a lot. It's just really cute to see. I've never met Pamela Anderson, she was absolutely beautiful. But I honestly think she is most beautiful right now. The whole thing with no makeup. Look, I'm going to be whoever I want to be. I just think she's beautiful without any of the added what have you. I know a lot of people are like, oh, she looks terrible. She's washed out. I mean, she's to me like a Norwegian look. I just love her being natural. I think it's really cool, right? And at her age, she's earned that, right? So.
Oh yeah.
But again,
she's put on more makeup in her life enough to last.
Right. I mean, she really. I think she's probably started at 13 or 14 with all that. So I get it. She's. And I don't think whatever. If she likes it, great. If she doesn't, when it comes to makeup and women, I don't care what they do. As long as they do whatever it is that makes them happy, I don't really care. But I love that. And what does that mean, Ron?
Wow.
I don't know what that means, Ron. Has she killed any boyfriends? I don't think so.
Yeah, Ron's comment was, should we expect him to die soon?
I don't know. Anyway, it's kind of cute to see they're working on a Naked Gun, right?
Right.
And there's just all of these little articles about how he was just like so blown away by her and how he thought she was really cute and all these things. They're just very, and I don't know if it's official that they're dating. I think that they're trying to skirt around it. And And
I don't think they're going to go Instagram official.
Right. Like, it's kind of like, hey, they both are very Twitter painted by each other. You know what I mean? Career-wise and otherwise. And it's just really cute to see, especially for him, because he lost Natasha Richardson, in 2009?
Oh.
I was thinking of another blonde. I don't know. Ron, you're going to have to tell us about this later. So yeah, Natasha Richardson was who he was married to, and she had a weird, crazy death where she hit her head on something.
The skiing accident.
Yeah, and it, like 2 days later, it killed her. That was awful. But anyway, it's just nice to see, people moving on. Oh, okay. So, so we're gonna go into a teeny little bit of a list of people, other people, and so yes, Courtney Love is one of them. So we'll just get that out of the way. But people who've lost partners and found love again, and not to get into detail, but Pierce Brosnan is one of them. He had actually lost. Hold on. Cassandra Harris to ovarian cancer in 1991, which is forever ago. And then he had met Keely Shane Smith, who he married in 2001, and from there, anything more detailed you want to learn about, you can look up. But because we do not want to run long on these things today. Michelle Williams. I mean, Heath Ledger was a very tough loss for her.
God, yeah.
And when you think about it, it's crazy because so much went on talking about him that a lot of people didn't really think. I personally didn't think of her and what she went through, but that's rough. So she ended up getting involved with a musician by the name of Phil Elverum. And I guess it's met and spent a lot of time in the attic.
Yep. Looks like we might be having a little technical glitch while Lana is fixing that up. I was looking at some of the people who have been widowed to see if Lana, are you back?
I guess I'm back. The whole time that I'm gone, I could see you guys, so I don't know.
We couldn't hear you. Oh, it's another glitch.
Froze again.
No, you're on me. You stopped there. Anyway, I was getting into Leah Michelle and Corey Monteith, and the whole thing with Corey Monteith. In July 2013, which is crazy.
Wow.
They were on Glee. If anybody was a fan of the show Glee,
I remember.
They were actually a couple as much as they were on screen. They were off screen at one point. And then she started in 2017 dating a longtime friend of hers, Zandy Wright, who's a fashion industry executive. And they got married in 2019. And they're having their first son, Everett Leo. Or they just had their first son in 2024. Everett Leo is the name. So, and I guess they're on their second child at this point. So, another one, I love this man to death. I actually want to meet him someday. Stanley Tucci. I just love Stanley Tucci so much. So he had his wife Kate, who died on him, and it was breast cancer in 2009, right? So he eventually got involved with Emily Blunt's sister, which is kind of cool. And when they got to, I guess they met each other on the set of Devil Wears Prada and some other stuff. And then I guess they got together in like 2011, and her name is Felicity. And tied the knot in 2012. So good for him. I mean, Stanley Tucci is has one of the most huge range as an actor that it's almost like nothing in 2011 between 2010 and now that you can't he's almost like in everything as a character actor, like, or a background or something. I mean, from being a serial killer to everything else, he's just been amazing. So Patton Oswalt, I don't know if you've actually watched the show that his wife put together where she was trying to find a murderer. She was a crime writer. It was really cool that she got a lot of stuff together about somebody that had killed many people, and she was in the middle of that. She died in her sleep. Just like the weirdest thing. She died in her sleep.
I remember the story.
It was in April 2016. and nobody knows what happened. I mean, obviously it wasn't anything. She wasn't sick or anything. It was very sudden. So, and then he got involved with. Hold on one second. Oof, I'm going through my story here. But anyway, you know what? Actually, what's funny about this story is like it's not clear who he's with now. He got involved with somebody that he ran into on Facebook, that he has known a lot of his family and friends for a long time, and I guess they got together. But honestly, that article I'm reading here is a little convoluted on that. And I did not do notes before today because I thought, oh, let's just. I know. And I'm a note person. I know, but I'm like, nope. If I do notes, I'll feel like I'll run too long. Then we get into Courtney Love. Obviously, what happened with her happened with her. We believe what we believe about that.
Oh, we've gone down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and me and Ron don't get us started on that. However, she has found love in several places since then, and we can name. Let's see, Billy Corrigan. She was. Kind of, I guess they were. Her and Edward Norton were together for a while.
Yeah, they did that movie together.
Right.
The People versus Larry Flint.
That's it.
Right. And that didn't kind of really go anywhere, I guess, eventually. So that didn't last. I think they got engaged, but that's about it. So they're naming like Billy Corgan, Steve Coogan, Mickey Rourke, a bunch of people that she found love with since. So, okay. Well, her last name is Love. So there you go. Paul McCartney's another one. Everybody
That's how you married that one?
Yeah, like that. Paul McCartney's another one. I mean, he, Linda Eastman McCartney, that was a rough go for him. And he's been married twice since.
Heather Mills.
First, let's start with Linda Eastman. Actually died in 1998. And then he met Heather Mills and married her in 2002. And then they were divorced by 2008. That didn't work out for him.
Yeah, he didn't have a leg to stand on.
Oh, stop it.
Is anybody? Okay, somebody got it.
I know, I get it. So he married Nancy Chevelle in 2011. I guess they crossed paths like somewhere in 2007. And that's who he's with now. And so that's cool. And Paul McCartney. Katie Couric's another one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You forget, but she was with Jay Moynihan for however long, and he died in 1998. It's been a while.
Cancer, I think.
Colon cancer, right?
Yeah.
So she ended up meeting John Mulliner through some friends in 2012, and she has a friend who's a trauma surgeon, and I guess they kind of were mutual friends. And it doesn't really say what he does, but she ended up getting married to him like in a backyard. At the end of the day, what's funny is some of these celebrities that are really huge, they go the big $1,000, they marry these people that are famous, and they throw thousands of dollars at the wedding and all this other stuff. And at the end of the day, like the stuff that works for them is usually really something like small and, like a backyard wedding. You know what I mean? Because they realize like all that ridiculous stuff doesn't make any difference. It's just tossing money out the window. Doctor, give me the news. Okay, yeah. So I feel like I should know what Ron's talking about, but for some reason today I'm a little bit confused with Ron's comments. I know what it is. Okay, I just said the trauma surgeon thing. Okay.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a little bit. And then we got like Jackie Kennedy Onassis, of course.
Okay.
And everybody knows the story of I would hope by now, John F. Kennedy's widow.
Oh, spoiler alert! Come on.
Well, I mean, after he was killed in '63, she ended up with, what was it? Let me give you his whole name. It was, I know she ended up being Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis, and it's like, so he's Aristotle Onassis is what his name is. So he's a Greek shipping magnate, a lot of money, and kind of could get her away from, which I get after everything that happened, kind of could get her into like a reclusive life, and I think she was looking for that. So, and I guess there is, they say who knows what about him and whether he's a faithful guy or whatever. He had a lot of money, and he could whisk her away to another life, and she was good with that. So those are the ones that I kind of looked up that kind of go along this lines where, you know, there are people that kind of, hey, they had a really big love, but they were young, they were in their 20s and 30s. Why not have a second chance? And of all people, I know, being the a romantic person I am, for everybody on Facebook, they're probably like, what am I, is she like being held hostage? What's
Blink
happening with
twice.
her? Right. So I'm trying to get outside my wheelhouse, people. I'm trying to get outside my comfort zone.
I love the fact that you're still getting out of your comfort zone and you still talk about death.
I do. I did. I got it in there, right? I got in there somehow. No, that's terrible.
I was wondering, I was waiting for two. I know you.
I know.
I've been waiting for two names, but one is quite recent, so I'm sure that there is no dating yet, and there may never be. And that was Dolly Parton, who just lost her partner, Carl Dean.
I think we talked about that. I don't think she'll do that. I don't think, honestly, I worry for Dolly Parton because she was with him for so long.
Forever.
And she has mentioned several times that she is extremely lost and doesn't know what to do with herself. Like, so I feel like she's not, I don't know. I feel like she's going to be depressed, and I just feel like she's going to go not long after him.
Not good.
I don't know why.
No,
I just feel like I just worry for her. I hope she keeps herself busy, because she's got a million things to do. But I understand her being completely like missing a limb on that, because, I mean, weren't they together? I think they got married at 16 or something.
Yeah, they were childhood sweethearts.
So, and I should mention Aubrey Plaza too, because that was rough, but that was very recent.
That's
but anyway,
recent.
what was the other one?
The other one was John Travolta losing Kelly Preston.
You know, I had a conversation with somebody the other day about this, and it was over a news story of somebody who was 23 and died of, I think, breast cancer, and her family was very religious and not very interested in Western medicine. And the argument was, is that wrong? You know, can we blame the parents for that? She kind of learned from them, and so she refused treatment. And so being 23, it's like right in that skirt where you're like, is it wrong that the community she was raised in kind of pushed her in this direction because she was so young? And Kelly Preston comes to mind because of Scientology.
Right.
And of course, I went right into that. It's like, and Jet. Now, Jet makes me mad because he was a kid. And not everything that went on there. But there's several people. Kelly Preston would have probably have lived, but they just didn't believe in treatment. Right. And so, it was rough for her to go, but it's like, she probably chose that.
Right.
She probably was like, it's my time and that's it. You know, Kirstie Alley, same deal. She could have been with us today, but she decided that's not the way she wants to handle her illness. Yeah. And so I'm not going into the rabbit hole of Scientology. I've done it. I actually, if you want to, I'm not an expert on it, but I've read a lot about Scientology because it's fascinating to me. But yeah, Kelly Preston is kind of, I get it, that they were together forever, but who knows what, their world is different for them in Scientology. So I would
agree.
You know, who knows what, a lot of us don't think John Travolta was straight anyway. She was sort of a beard for him.
Well, there's plenty of stories out there for that.
So who knows? But anyway.
Okay, well, we're going to move on with an interesting question that JP has posed, a correlation for musicians between being a good person and a good career and a long career.
Right. Well, I mean, I'd seen a couple different deals pop up in the last month or something. And one was about like a younger, big country music, star right now, and an interaction that he had after one of his concerts with a young kid who wanted an autograph. Kind of snubbed this kid, and then it went on TikTok, and then it kind of went viral, and then his like justification of his actions were like, oh, I just got done performing 2 hours and I'm tired and I just want to go home. And I did what my job was. And, I'm not here to appease every fan and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? And so, you see that and you're like, man, that just, you spend all this time wanting people to ask you for a autograph.
Yep.
And then once you get to that level, you know, whatever, you know, but towards kids is, you know, and then, you know, around the same time, I'd seen another deal, and it was like a clip of Ozzy Osbourne at the last show when everybody, and it's like, you're not getting any busier than Ozzy Osbourne was at his goodbye concert, right? And this little girl walks up to him, and he's in his wheelchair because he's ailing, right?
Yeah.
Says, you know, I just wanted to tell you that you're my favorite artist because I don't know if I'll ever see you again, you know, da 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 da. And like, he's not too busy to stand up and give the girl a hug out of his wheelchair and take a picture with her. And so like, then it started, you know, this kind of, you know, you have these people who are like Ozzy Osbourne, and you have, and I mean, there's tons of them, you know, George Strait is one. You've never heard of him being rude to fans and never denying somebody an autograph or a picture, or, you know what I mean? And like Dolly Parton, you just brought up Dolly Parton, same thing. There's never too much for her fans, and never, you know, too little a time to spend with them, and nothing's an inconvenience. And so then, you know, these are three of the biggest, you know, musicians that have probably ever walked the earth, like longevity wise. And so is there a correlation between being this kind of a good person and longevity? Because the ones who have these things where they have these negative interactions constantly with young kids and fans and stuff like that, especially now in the internet age, TikTok, and everybody's gonna, you know, if it goes viral and this and that, how long do you think your career is going to last? You know, you have like that the country singer who, you know, and maybe it made sense to him, his justification for snubbing a bunch of kids that wanted an autograph. But I look at other younger artists like Post Malone, you know what I mean? Like maybe he's not the best singer, but his personality and the way that he interacts with everybody around him is going to help his career, because he's that person, as opposed to somebody who wants, you know, maybe you make good music, but if you're, you know, kind of a POS to everybody that's buying your music, how long is your career going to last? Because people are going to get tired of you after a while.
Absolutely.
So there's a dichotomy with fame and musicianship. And I know a lot of artists have written that line. I know Billy Joel did.
Right.
I know Billy Joel has. And I have friends that have been in the business and interviewed a lot of these people. I'm trying to think of some of the people that have come back with the worst interviews. Even just being on, you know, I mean, you know, I remember, I think Mark Chestnut was one of the worst interviews a friend of mine did, where he was just, you know, just not bringing anything to the interview, not charismatic, just sort of. Lori Morgan comes to mind. She was another one that I did country music for 10 years. So
people have bad days. You know what I mean? And there's bad, you know what I mean? And these rare, you know, these occasions, but if you take somebody's, you know, 10, 15, 20-year career, and the number of bad interactions outnumbers the good interactions.
I guess it's like, do you love all of the facets of what you're doing? Like, Neil Peart was like that. Neil Peart was one of the best drummers ever, and he loved what he did. And he wasn't interested in the party. He didn't like the people. He was an introvert. So, and he rubbed some people the wrong way. So it's like there's like some stuff that you have to say, well, this is part of the deal, and I'm gonna just deal with it.
Right.
That's just it. Is it part of the job?
Right.
When you're not doing, you said before, I got off stage, I did my job. But is part of your job also, hey, you have to, like you said before, nobody wanted your autograph. You became famous.
Yeah.
I mean,
you wanted this.
Right.
That's part of your job now.
Right.
I mean, I get it. I'm a DJ, and do I like chatting with people? No, but I go in, I turn it on, and it's the
and
truth.
Yet you do podcasts.
I want to play what I'm doing, but I don't. In here, there's 2 or 3 people I'm dealing with. I'm not dealing with like crowds of people. I actually don't like that. Like being in the middle of a crowd. But it's part of, hey, I get on the mic, I do what I got to do, I say what I have to say, I work the room, you know, I do whatever. And then when I'm at 2 a.m. when I'm like packing up my stuff, I can be a little irate. Like, okay, I've been here 6 hours, so I get it. But
I get the part of the job part of it. You know, like obviously if you're an actor, the red carpet at movie premieres and this and that, that is part of your job, right?
Right.
As a musician, if you don't want to interact with the fans after the show, there are ways to leave where you're not walking by the crowds of people after the show. And so you're
That's
intentionally putting yourself in this position to have negative interactions. You know what I mean?
No, that's
like
true.
he could get on the bus and not walk by all these
Right.
people that want his autograph. And, you know, closed movie sets, you know, the actors aren't dealing with people asking them for autographs and this and that. But you can't you can't want that life and try to reject the parts of it that you know are parts of it.
But your question was, if you are a better person, will you have a longer career? So we have to go back and say, so what are the people who were assholes to their fans and it ruined their career?
Yeah.
Is there anybody? Is it ironically, Ron has a picture of Diddy up there.
Right.
Diddy's career, if he were to put out an album, would anybody buy it?
Oh, he's done now. He's done.
He's done.
He's not done for how he treated his fans. He's done for how he treated everybody else.
Well, I mean, but he did a lot of stuff for the fans. You know, I remember when I was in high school, they had that TRL after, you know, at 4 o'clock or whatever. And like, he was on there. I remember there was a time where he was on there for like 3 days straight running on a treadmill because it was raising money for, you know, whatever. I mean, he did, you know, but, and I mean.
6 of 1, he had that whole promoter thing he did in New York that killed 9 people. So that's a whole nother thing.
And I mean,
you know, so it's a toss up with him, but
But I mean, there are people who have probably ruined their careers by not being pleasant or not being a good person. I mean, you have the ones that are, I mean, there's just, but some of them, that's their personality also, you know what I mean? But like, I'm not sure if I've ever heard of, you know, Eminem being rude to a bunch of fans. Like he's going to his little spaghetti shop, handing out stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you know, but you know, Snoop Dogg is Snoop Dogg because he's a super awesome guy and he's really pleasant to everybody that's around him. You know what I mean? So like, but other rappers from that time haven't had the careers that he's had, music or not. Because of the way that they interact and the way that they are towards people around, you know what I mean? Like there's been a ton of rappers and musicians that have come and go that maybe were on par with Snoop Dogg, but their personalities and this I'm better than everybody now mentality has kind of made people not care about them, and they kind of went to the wayside.
You know, Kevin Dubrow comes to mind.
Really?
Yeah.
A Quiet Riot?
Yes, I have heard several stories about Kevin Dubrow. Isn't that weird? I have friends that interviewed these 80s rockers and stuff like that, and you know, but I don't know. Here's what I don't know. I don't know that outside, like the industry, anybody knows these stories. So it's like, are the fans aware of this stuff? Like,
there you go.
So I don't know. If you treat a bunch of people like crap in, you know, an interview, like Garth Brooks is one of those people who, he knew he was in marketing for a while, so he knew how to listen. I know how to treat people that come backstage. You know, we came backstage. He's like, "Can I get you anything?" Blah, blah, blah. You know, he was, and we're like, Garth Brooks is serving us. This is when he was doing Boston shows, and so he kind of knows the word of mouth that gets back because, you know, he kind of understands the marketing aspect of it. But who knows? You know, you got Madonna and you got people like Mariah Carey. They've been around forever, and they've treated people around them pretty shitty. Excuse my language. So I don't know.
What's interesting now is I can remember, and this is usually not the way it goes. You remember the negative, But from what I hear now, the names that come to mind are Jelly Roll. Apparently, he does everything for everybody, for all his fans. And even though I don't listen to her music, don't come for me, Taylor Swift apparently is amazing to her fans, to her coworkers, to everybody. And those are people. But the one person that comes to mind when you said negative was actually Madonna. Madonna there's plenty of articles written about how she can be just, as you said before, a POS to some of her friends.
Madonna doesn't have any. She doesn't have a clock. Like, she literally, I don't think she's ever been anywhere on time, ever.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just like she's late in 2 and 3 and 4 hours, like, and then gets there and is like, all right, I'm ready to go. And everybody's like, yeah, we rented this room out for 4 hours. We're leaving.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's what I've heard is that she's just been, I'm going to do what I want. And I don't want anybody to give me a hard time. And she has kept fans waiting. See, that bothers me. Lauryn Hill did this too. This kind of stuff bothers me where, like, if you go out, if fans are paying, I think we went through this with David Lee Roth, actually.
Axl Rose and Guns N' Roses.
Axl Rose, I was going to say him.
Yeah, just like where people are just standing around for 2 hours waiting for a show to start. I mean, don't do that. Don't do that to fans if they're paying for tickets. If you're in a mid to smaller venue and you're not happy about it, that's not their fault.
Well, what was the one a couple years ago at Coachella? Somebody didn't go on for like 2.5 hours, or was like 3 hours late or something like that at like one of the big because they were mad that they weren't the last act on Saturday or something like that. And so then they didn't go on for a couple hours. And then it pushed the last act didn't start till midnight or something like that. Just as a, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that.
I don't agree with, like, whatever you agreed to do or whatever you're supposed to do, just do what you're supposed to do. And if you're having arguments with, like, the management, I get that.
Right.
Whether they're moving you around or they change your pay or whatever, that stuff does go on backstage.
Right.
Or the back line is not what you want, or if something happens where something isn't what you asked for when you get there, make it work so that the fans aren't suffering from it. I think. But that's just me.
You know, you hear the stories. Mostly, I think maybe it still happens. I don't really pay that much attention anymore. But I remember hearing all the stories about different artists. You know, David Lee Roth, the Axl Roses, and this and that. Like they would throw temper tantrums backstage if they didn't have this water or these. You know, you didn't sort their M&Ms right.
Thing,
or
so the brown M&M thing was.
No, that's a different thing, and I will defend that. Yeah, I will defend that if you know the full story.
Yeah, me too.
But you have all these people that, like, 10 years prior to that, nobody cared who they were, and they were playing these tiny little, street corners or whatever. Yeah. And then now all of a sudden, like, crap on everybody else because I'm a superstar and you should bow to me, kind of the Madonna mentality
it comes back
Well, I'm sorry. I just want to answer to that.
Mm-hmm.
I have heard, because of interviews, I have, a few friends who are backstage and things, that it isn't always the artist who does that. That it is the people around them who take care of it. Well, this person wants this and this person wants that, and the performer has no idea what's even going on.
Right. But your team still is a representative of you. You know what I mean?
I will agree with that.
You should be paying attention, because any business, like the other builders that I work with and that are under me, like, they're still representing the name on the pickup.
I agree.
No, I agree. I mean, it's what I was going to say is, if you're not looking for the fame, and I not to bring Kurt Cobain up again, but I mean, that was his dilemma. He really hated it. He liked what he did. He liked playing out. He wanted to, but he didn't really like the fame end of it at all. Especially when he started getting into the arguments with Vanity Fair and Courtney Love and all that crazy stuff. But, like, I get, like, even Eminem has this line in his song, I kind of want to be left alone, but I also, so
and it's a conundrum. I mean, it is.
I get it, because it's your life, but.
And it's easy. It's easy for an outside person to be like, oh, well, it's part of it, deal with it. But, I don't have thousands of people taking my picture and screaming at me nonstop all day every time I leave the house.
If I did, I think I'd hate that. I think I'd probably you probably wouldn't see me again. I'd end up.
Well, there are celebrities. It's funny because there are celebrities who have rules, and we're supposed to know that I will sign at any point, but not when I'm eating dinner. Okay, I will understand that, but how am I supposed to know that?
Right.
There are people who say I will sign anywhere, but not at an airport because I'm trying to get where I'm going. I understand that. But this is my one chance to see you. Chances are it's not going to happen again.
I mean, I'm trying to think of I've heard some stories or whatever from interviews of people that have said, I've been out at a restaurant here or there. The one person that I have to defend is, like, Jerry Seinfeld. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, can I just eat, or can I just, no, I don't want to hug people, things like that.
Right.
I kind of get that in a sense sometimes, where it's kind of jarring to have somebody just come up and do one of these things.
Right.
And you're
But I
going to
think
get
it's-
real bad press if you don't like it. But what can you do?
I think the difference of, I think there's a, in my mind at least, there's a little bit of a difference between, seeing somebody in a random place,
right,
and that interaction, as opposed to you just did a concert and you're leaving the stage, and the people who paid to come and watch you play.
You're right.
You know what I mean? Like that's it. It'd be like somebody,
that's it.
At the red carpet, everybody's screaming your name and trying to take your picture and wants a little clip of, give me a quote, that kind of deal. And so, you're putting yourself in the red carpet. If it's not your movie, then don't walk the red carpet. Right. Just go to the premiere. You know what I mean?
And some people actually don't. There are a lot of actors that just don't do the red carpet thing. They still do the movies.
Right.
And that's not their deal, and that's fine. They just don't go. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's fair.
And they're not going to every one of them all over the place for weeks, straight.
They'll do their junket. They'll do their interview when they have to with the board and all that, but they don't walk the carpet. The carpet's not their thing.
Right.
And I respect that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't get it wrong if you don't do it.
So do we have a verdict? The better the person, the longer the career?
No. I don't believe it. I don't agree. I don't believe it. I know that there are some people in the business that have been around for years and they treat people horribly.
Right.
And I don't know. I've been mystified by it. Like, wow, how does this? I don't know. But not saying everybody, but there are some people that I'm surprised they're still in business.
I think it helps your career if you're a Dolly Parton, you know what I mean? Like if she went and did wanted to do a big show, like if her and Madonna did a competition to who could have the biggest show right now, I think Dolly Parton would win.
That'd be interesting.
Or like,
that'd be interesting.
I think the old vets are more appreciative now. It's very possible.
Yeah.
It's the people who realize that, and they say it a lot, the fans are the ones who put you on top. So be nice to them. And yes, JP, you said it before, everybody has a bad day. I mean, you could be arguing with your significant other and somebody comes up, oh my God, I love you. Can I have a picture? I'm in the middle of an argument here.
I do remember reading a story by Rob Lowe where his grandmother was dying in a book I read about that he wrote. And somebody in the room while his grandmother was dying said, "Yeah, you Rob Lowe, can I get an autograph?" And I thought that was really crass. But that's also again, it's outside of the But if you're coming off stage and you don't like the walk, then walk a different way. I totally get that.
Right.
You got people that can usher you into different direction.
Right.
And so to walk into them and then it's not good.
Ron makes an excellent point. You can have one bad day, but if it's filmed as everybody is nowadays, it's going to live forever and everyone's going to talk about that rather than one person who tells their 10 friends and coworkers.
Right.
Now it's not, I got to put this on TikTok.
It's nothing like it was in the 70s and 80s. You could get away with a lot of stuff back then.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And now everything. Like I actually saw a clip. I kind of flip through some stuff if I can and try to find out like different artists or whatever. And I did see a clip of Taylor Swift like just randomly handing out money to people who were trying to work the hallway when she was coming off a stage. Like, oh, you did this, here. No, you don't get enough. Now, somebody filmed it. Maybe she, who knows? Did somebody film it on purpose? I don't know. Did somebody just catch her doing it? That's another thing. We have no idea who's behind the camera. So that's another story.
Marketing's marketing and PR it's hard to tell.
Yep.
And they said something like, this is the stuff that nobody says about Taylor Swift. This is the stuff that nobody sees. And it's kind of like, okay, then you have to, like I said, pull it apart and say.
Well, that's how you can tell. Unfortunately, we won't know. Because if you do the good stuff behind the scenes and it's not meant to be seen by somebody, then we don't know that you're an amazing person. And
exactly.
That's the way it goes. Okay, I'm sure we have a hard out today, so I'm going to move on to something that we can all get behind because every living person will eventually face the fact that, well, your time's up and we're going to be off this planet.
Are you talking about death today? I thought we were. No, see? Did I?
Well,
am I rubbing off on you over here with this?
No. I'm bringing the positive version of death.
Oh, but it's still death. You still brought it
Yeah,
up.
it's still death. Okay, so
Okay.
fine, you got me.
Mm-hmm.
But there are things that people want to accomplish because we are aware that there is an ending. So there are things you want to do before that, hence called the bucket list before you kick the bucket. Now, I looked at a survey, then I looked at another survey and 5,000 polls, and then I found one survey that actually combined all the data. They found 91% of people who were asked, and out of all these, we're talking millions of people, have a bucket list.
Mm-hmm.
So 91%. Lena, JP, do you sort of have one in the back of your head? Things that you want to do?
Yep.
If I know I'm dying?
No. Well, yeah, unfortunately, we all know we're dying.
Right. I probably would
So
only have a list.
are there things that you need to do that you know?
Yes. I don't need to
Okay.
get into them, but yes.
Well, they compiled this, like I said, no matter what age or background, everyone has something that they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And they've checked this out, and it's gone into 6 areas. It's basically does anybody want to guess what number 1 category is on their bucket list?
Travel.
Bingo. That's it. Everybody has somewhere. It's about 80% of people mention, I have to go to this place before, I pass on. I myself, I'm one of those people who, Ron says the Grand Canyon. By the way, the Grand Canyon is beautiful. It's a great place to visit. You've been there also. It's just looking out on it. It's amazing.
Now I have to go. I feel left out.
Oh, you have to go. It is.
It's.
I'm one of those people.
Good.
Oh, go ahead, JP.
Oh, it's a great place. I mean, my mom moved to Arizona when I moved to Montana. And so I took my daughter there a couple Christmases ago. We went to the Grand Canyon, and it was a lot bigger than it looks in pictures. That's for sure.
Did you get to go down to the bottom?
We didn't go down to the bottom. And then if my daughter was a little more daring, I probably would have done the helicopter deal. But we just kind of took a day trip over to it and walked the trail for a while.
I did the same thing.
Nice.
It's beautiful. I cannot say enough. When you see one of the 7 wonders of the world, sometimes they really do live up to it, and that's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
My goal in traveling, and I have 2 of them, is to see all 50 states. I'm halfway there, so I do have to get going. And the other one that I promised my daughter, we've talked about this for so long, that I really have to get this going. I'm dying to go on an African photo safari. Just me and her.
Okay.
That is quote unquote, that's on my bucket list. Do you have any travel places that you want to go?
Me personally? Yeah. You go,
Scotland.
JP.
Scotland's one because that's my, I think everybody kind of wants to go and see where their heritage comes from.
Yes.
A little bit. And so I know that we had a bunch of Scottish in my family that came, and then most of my family my dad was born on the East Coast, and all of his family, I don't really know any of his family because we're from the West Coast.
Right.
Australia would be one. I'd like to see the Barrier Reef. And just kind of travel a little bit through Europe as well, the Greece, the Spain, the Colosseum, some of these things, maybe go over towards Egypt. The pyramids would be cool because I think seeing those in real life would be kind of like a Grand Canyon deal, because I think that they're going to be way bigger and way more impressive than the pictures do justice.
I've actually had a coworker who went there, and they said that everything, the Sphinx and the pyramid, it's awe-inspiring. But what bothered them is their hotel was actually I don't know, a mile away. So you open up your window and you're sort of like, oh, it's right there.
There it is. Yeah.
Took them out of the moment a little bit.
One thing on my bucket list is Greenland. You can rent these little glass domes.
Greenland, wow.
But you're underneath the northern lights. And so you can lay there in these glass ceiling dome deals.
Wait. I'm sorry to interrupt. Do you mean Iceland or Greenland? Because I know they have that in Iceland.
Both, probably. Either one. But the Northern Lights, like being close to the Northern Lights, would definitely be on my bucket list too.
It's a beautiful thing. Okay, Lana, you had a few minutes. Is there any place?
What I really want to do is just live in an RV and travel, or have an RV and travel that way.
That's awesome.
I hate flying and I hate packing and I hate I'd rather have just something where I can move, where I wake up in the morning and look out when I get up and have my coffee, and the view changes.
Nomad
life. Dog and you're fine. Yeah.
So yeah, and that's probably it for me. I don't know if I want to do any overseas traveling, but
that's
I'm not
fine.
a big travel fan. But Ron and I are going to go to the Grand Canyon. We're going to have a road trip.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, we have to. We're left out here, so
in an RV.
Maybe that'd be probably a good way to go.
It's a great trip.
Yep.
Yeah.
The second thing people put on their bucket list is to accomplish a personal goal. People say that they want to have a song recorded, want to write a book, want to be an actor. Is there anything that you guys want to do that's a personal goal?
There's definitely going to be a book for me.
I would read that book.
Yeah.
I would definitely read
that book.
Probably
only 12 people would read it, and probably half of them would be in it, but that's okay.
But the goal is that you've accomplished it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
JP?
Well, I mean, I checked off the podcast, TV show sort of bucket list, and so
yeah,
I doing something, like helping more people, maybe doing like a nonprofit kind of deal to help single dads more.
Aw, that's nice.
That's cool.
See, are you making us think that you're a really good person? Is that it?
I try.
We're trying to get to know
for single dads.
I actually wanted to do a TV show a while ago on single dads, specifically raising daughters, and I didn't get the traction on that. But it's an interesting topic.
Yeah.
Achieve life milestones. Let's see. Let's see. This is the most popular one. A life milestone: learning to play a musical instrument.
Okay.
I know I've tried to play the guitar for years. I gave up. I can actually play the ukulele because it's a little smaller. Do you guys have anything like that?
I think I've lost most of it, but I did play the violin at one time.
Ooh.
And I sing. Singing is mostly my thing. So that's really what I do.
I've never heard you sing.
No, you haven't. But I do. But yeah, when I was a kid, I went to violin lessons for I don't know how long. And I did learn it, but it wasn't something I ever took from there. And it was good for me.
But being a DJ, is there an instrument that you do want to learn?
I've thought about. I was a big Sheila E. fan, and I would love to do the drums. And I have a lot of friends who have drums, and I should just find one to teach me. But I have to get into that. Yeah, that would be it. It'd be the drums for me.
Well, according to this, Ron can play the cowbell and the triangle.
All right.
So you can join the Partridge Family.
How about the recorder? Who's playing the recorder? Somebody's got.
Oh yes. Well, maybe JP. Do you have anything like that? Musical instrument?
I want to take piano lessons.
I like that one too. Let's see. So those are actually the top 3 that are in most bucket lists. But like I said, there are 6 categories. One is to spend quality time with family and friends.
Yeah.
I think that is something that you have to make a priority, because everyone would go, well, I can see that, and that's awesome, and we all want to do it, but you do have to make time for that.
Right. And I know a lot of people hate technology, but FaceTime is an amazing thing. If you can't get in the room with people, especially whether they're on one side of the country or the other, or people have crazy schedules and can't get together or can't figure out a date where they all have time free, FaceTime is the next best thing, and it does the trick. It helps.
I agree.
It works.
Let's see. Achieve financial stability. A lot of people now are hoping that they have enough money to retire comfortably.
Yeah.
I don't even know, but that would be on a bucket list.
Right.
Yeah, can that happen?
I mean, most people can't even cover the rent right now. But yeah, definitely. Not only sleeping like a baby at night, knowing you don't have anything to pay.
No, that would be awesome.
Wouldn't it? Well, we'll have to read about somebody else that does it and see what happens. See if we can
If your book sells, you'll be fine.
There you go.
And the last one is cultural and life experiences. Attending that once-in-a-lifetime thing. They use the Olympics or Carnival or Mardi Gras, things like that.
Okay.
Is there an event that one of you guys have to go to before it's time?
No, not if there's people there.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't. If I see stuff, huge crowds and things like that, it just makes me. It just looks like a nightmare to me. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'd love to see certain events, but I'm like not into the crowd that comes with it. So.
Well, then before I ask JP, Lana, would you, if you had the chance to go back to see like the original Woodstock or Live Aid?
No,
right away.
Complete nightmare. Now, could I watch from the side of the stage? Could you put me on a speaker stand somewhere? Could you set me somewhere?
Yes. Oh, sure. Why not?
And I watch everybody, but like I'm not in that crowd. Like it just looks like I could never be in the middle of all that. I don't know. It's just a sensory nightmare for somebody like me. But I would love to see the show live from some vantage point where I'm not dealing with, the rest of it. But so that's what I'm saying. I'd love any event.
What do you need to see?
If I had to choose one, I'd like to see a World Series game.
Oh, that's probably would be the only one I would choose. Also, the Super Bowl is, as Lena said, it's just too much. I want to see it at home.
Yeah,
there are events that I want to see at home, but I think a World Series game. Okay, you're in Montana. Who's your team?
Well, I grew up in Oregon. We didn't have baseball teams, so I've always been a Yankees fan. But I don't watch near as much baseball as I used to.
Break my heart as a Mets fan, but we're both in the same boat right now. There are other people, the ones that found, some people just want to find a partner and fall in love. It's that simple. Some people just want to have kids. That's on their bucket list. That's fine. One of mine actually, and I have it, growing up, my mother was allergic to animals. Then I moved into, that's his number one, according to Ron. Then I lived in apartments most of my life. I wanted a dog. I would have considered my life incomplete if I had never had a dog. And what is it? 13 years ago, I still have that little girl who is now sleeping on my bed. But I love every minute of having that. And second was also checked off my bucket list. I have, as JP said, I was lucky enough to be in an independent movie, so I've been on the screen. I've been on a TV show, podcast. I've been on terrestrial radio, and I love doing podcasts, so I have to check that off. But my favorite one is being a father. Of my daughter, I'm proud, so proud to say, what is the one thing that I admire most about her is she's a good person. So on my bucket list, if I had one of those kids that we do stories about every once in a while, where you could just tell the parenting was bad, I don't know what I would do. So I'm checking that off my bucket list. I'm saying I was a good father.
Full circle.
I got my dog. I had some cool experiences, in entertainment. So I'm mostly done. Is there anything left that you could have thought of that you want on your bucket list?
Me?
Sure.
I think I've done everything I wanted to do. Like I said, I only want to write a book.
That's awesome.
I definitely want to make sure I'm around as much family and good friends as possible. I don't know.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
JP?
I mean, mostly everything else I've done.
Oh, sorry. JP?
I mean, outside of, hopefully seeing my daughter grow up, graduate high school, you know, being at her wedding, welcoming grandchildren, if that's the route that she goes, you know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff.
Yep.
I hopefully live long enough and those things happen if she makes those choices to make those happen.
I definitely applaud those. Okay, if you're wondering why, because Lena and I usually dive into the weeds on everything, and we go an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Yep.
There is a time limit on today's show. So I want to thank everyone for, with us today. I want to thank JP and Lena for hanging out with us. JP, how did we do the first time?
Did great. It was a pleasure to be here.
I hope you're back again with us.
Well,
be sure to join us again tomorrow. Ron and Kenny will be back. And from what I saw in the chat, they may actually be in the same room, which would be very interesting, I'm thinking, especially for a Ron's Top 5 list. Remember to join us again, because if you need some fun, join us. We've got it going on daily. Have a good one, guys.